to be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before.
Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to another episode, a live episode at that, of Let's Learn Love. I am your illustrious host, Dr. Cassandra Parks Evans, and I am the owner of Let's Learn Love, which here in Atlanta is a premier dating, relationship, and intimacy coaching and consulting business, as well as I am a board certified sexologist. So, we are coming towards the end of February. We've gotten through quote unquote love month, and we're going on to some new and different things. So spring is coming. So what does that mean? Spring, summer, and fall are usually some of my busiest times. So just to let you know, some of the things that I do have coming up. I have a retreat that is coming up called Blissful Wilderness, and it is going to be in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I am going to start collecting people that are interested in that soon. So keep your eyes out for that if you do not follow me on my social media pages, which you should go ahead and do that now. I am on Facebook at Let's Learn Love. I am on Instagram. My personal one is Cassandra M. Parks. And I also have the one for Let's Learn Love, which is How to Learn Love. So come check me out, follow me on those things. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can get more people in to start knowing more information that I'm going to be doing. I have a big announcement. I am going to live shows just about permanently, guys. So we're looking forward to that here at Ebon Vision, and we're excited about that. So stay tuned. I will be making that announcement pretty soon. So that is some other news that you want to get to. So again, we're at the end of February. We all know February is Love Month, Check Your Heart Month. If you have not done that, that is very important as well. Heart health is very, very important. So make sure you take care of your heart, okay? In more ways than one. So I figured out that a lot of these questions that I get coming in are common sex questions. So this week, we're going to talk about different common sex questions for males that you may have or identify as males, females, and for couples, okay? So some of these are. I'm going to mix them up so I can try to get through a cycle of all of them at one time. We're going to do 3 questions, one, male, female, and couples. And we'll do it like that till we get through all of them, because I feel like that these are some common ones that people ask me all the time. And I just want to go ahead and get it out there so we can talk about it and we can have a discussion on it. So if you are watching live, go ahead and, put something in the chat just to let me know that you're watching. If not, even if you're watching it later, put something in the chat because we welcome your comments, okay? So the first one that I have that is most common for guys is, what is the normal range for penis size, and does it matter in sexual satisfaction? Okay, so this is the thing, guys. The average penis size is erect penis size is anywhere between 5.1 and 5.9 inches. This is average. I'm not saying this is everybody. Why are you laughing, Lack? No, you'll be surprised. You'll be very surprised. But however, that's not essential to what you need to understand, of course. It's about how you pleasure your partner and what your partner wants and expects. So what does that mean? That means that you need to have open and honest communication when it comes to your sex life. Use what you got. Basically, if you feel like that it is not meeting your standards, you can, work in some sort of aids, some sort of toys, some sort of technique. Go and talk to someone if you feel uncomfortable about it. There are different things that you can do and learn if you're not, exactly happy with your situation, so to say. But, again, that is something that does trouble men a lot. And guess what? Just talk to your partner and have open and communication with them, and you can work stuff out. Okay, so that's the first one that I'm going to give you, and that's for the males or those that identify as males. For those that identify as women, one of the common questions that I get is, what factors can influence a woman's libido, and how can she boost her sex drive if it is low? This is very important. Why? Because a lot of partners come to me and say, my woman is just so tired. She doesn't want to do anything. She always talks about the kids, work, and this and that and that. So, it's a whole long list. And I do understand that because, hey, I'm a woman. I understand. I understand the life rigors. I understand the kids and everything that goes along with it. But there are certain things that you can do. So let's discuss that real quick. One thing that I will always say is, when it comes to libido, ladies, always get checked. Your hormones can be mismatched, so to say. So we want to make sure that our hormonal balance is good when it comes to that. That can involve a simple trip to your PCP. You can also have a discussion when you do go to your gynecologist once a year to do your checkups. That's always important to talk about how you feel, especially when it comes to your libido, and how you feel about having sexual relations. So make sure that you go talk to your doctor first for hormonal changes, and make sure that we're good with our hormonal changes, okay? Something else that has a tendency is, of course, stress. We want to find stress reducers. Newsflash, sex is a good stress reliever. So you might want to, change your mindset a little bit, and try to change your mindset a little bit so that you can de-stress and get that out. And, stress is not good. You can do walking, jogging, go out to the gym to work on yourself. We do yoga. We're doing all these things to decompress our stress in our life. And this is something that we need in general anyway. It just doesn't have to do with our libido, but we need to do that for general health anyway. So make sure that you are trying to live as stress-free as possible, okay? Something else is relationship dynamics. Relationship dynamics play a part, of course, when it comes to libido. Why? Because women are more mental when it comes to sex and sex issues. So you got to make sure that she's in the right mind state. You want to make sure that she's being heard, that she's being attended to. You want to make sure, and vice versa too. This is important for men as well. Even though we talk about women, but we're talking about women right now, it's very important for men as well. We want to make the same things for both partners if you are in that type of relationship. But we want to make sure that all partners are valued in a relationship as well. So you want to make sure that your relationship dynamics are good. You want to make sure that the person feels secure. You want to make sure that they feel like they're being heard as well. And what does that mean? Open and candid conversations, guys. So make sure that we're talking, make sure that we're, understanding what our roles are in the relationship, and we understand our dynamics in the relationship as well. Okay, so what else? We got medication side effects. We know that, having a healthy lifestyle sometimes means that we're taking medications for other ailments that we may have. So sometimes those medications have side effects. We want to make sure that we check the side effects. If we are having a side effect, again, we want to make sure we're going to the doctor that prescribed it and talk to them about it. Hey, something's going on. I'm not necessarily feeling the way that I should. What can I do about it? And that way your doctor knows. Maybe they can put you on another medication. Maybe they can change the dosage. Maybe, there are other ways that you can get around that as well. So make sure that we talk about our medication side effects. And not only that, we're talking about physical issues as well. Anybody who knows me knows that I talk about sex after 50. And this is one of the main things that we talk about, and that's physical side effects. And, that could be something like, hey, I got a bad knee, which I do, or, or something like, I have mobility issues. Something like that is very important to know as well when it comes to your libido. And we want to make sure that we come up with a plan where you can work around those issues. Make sure that you go to a professional, someone like myself, or again, you can go to your doctor so you can talk about these things and get them to a happy medium for you in your life and your libido, okay? All right. Also, we want to make sure that to help boost our libido, and this is for anybody, we want to make sure we do proper self-care. We want to make sure that we have a healthy diet, stress management, accurate sleep, regular exercise, and just those things that help us as well. And something else that I would also say to rev up your libido, and this is for anybody, is try to explore your sexual fantasies that you may have. This helps enhance the sexuality and the intimacy that you may have with your partner. So it gives you something to explore as well, and something to look forward to. So you may want to explore those fantasies and desires that you may have. All right. All right, let's go to couples. What is a couple one that I hear all the time? How can couples maintain healthy sexuality and intimacy with connection over time, especially as the relationship evolves? This is a good one. Again, it's basically the same thing. We want to make sure that we have ongoing communication with our partners. Yes, people do change, and our tastes change in different things, and we should not be able to suppress them. We should be able to deal with them and get them out in the open, because we are growing human beings. So what does that mean as a partner that is receiving this information? You want to be open-minded. You want to listen to what your partner has to say. You want to make sure that you understand what your partner is saying. You may need to take time to research what the desire or the fantasy or whatever that your partner wants to try or is trying to introduce into the relationship. You want to make sure that you do your research as well. So if you're the person that is asking, you have to understand that it may take some time for this person to understand what exactly you want out of this fantasy or desire. And as the person that is listening, you may need time to hear and research it. So again, we want to make sure that we balance that out. We have to understand both sides of it. We also want to make sure that our communication is open and going. Also, you want to make sure that you schedule regular time together. I know it doesn't sound sexy. I know it doesn't sound cool or anything like that. But one of the times that I told you last week with one of the couples that came up to me, one needed time to actually plan, one did not. Again, I gave the analogy of the intimacy jar or the date night jar. And if you missed it, go back to the episode before, where I explained the difference between the jars and how to use them. And if not, feel free to comment. I will give you information about it. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about and want to get some more information about it, either go, which I recommend, go watch the episode before, or you can DM me or contact me, and I will get you the information out as soon as possible. Okay. Yes. So those are some of the things that we want to do. We want to try new techniques in the bedroom. We want to try new activities. We also want to express, and this is very important too. We want to express admiration, and we want to express appreciation sexually to our partner. Why? Because we want to make sure that our partner understands that, we like what they're doing, what they're not doing. That's why the open conversation is important, so that you can bring this information to them. Okay. All right, let's go back to the guys. How can men increase their sexual stamina and last longer in bed? Okay, there's a couple of things that we can do. Again, everything is, pretty much out there. Nothing new under the sun. We want to make sure that we have a great diet. We want to make sure that we exercise regularly. We want to make sure that we improve our cardiovascular health, and that's very important, which is our heart health. What does that look like? That can be jogging, that can be running, that can making sure that we get our heart rate up for the beats per minute that we need to make sure that we're exercising appropriately. And the reason why I'm saying it like that is because everybody's different. You need to go to your doctor and find out what your heart rate needs to be for you to exercise consistently and for you and your body. Okay, so no matter what you want to do, we always want to start off with our doctor and make sure that we're under some kind of care when it comes to that, because it is very important to be under a doctor's care so they'll know what's going on and they can monitor you. Okay. So we want to do things like that. We want to practice relaxation techniques. Again, that can be yoga, that can be walking, that can be journaling, that can be a lot of things that look like peace. It could be something as small as coloring. Those who know me and my clients know that I always talk about coloring. Adult coloring is very good. It's very therapeutic, and it's very freeing and creative. And when you're creative, you end up bringing creativity into your love life as well. So it goes hand in hand. And that's something else that we'll talk about soon is energy, and how energy flows and how it moves and how it's important to you and how to use it and harness it and use it in different ways. Okay. So what are some other things? We want to explore different techniques. We also want to do things like the stop start method, which helps with control and release. And we also want to help delay the ejaculation and delay the pleasure. So those are some things that you may want to work on too. If you are interested in that, again, we can talk about it. We can coach. I can coach you on it, and we can go that route as well too. All right. So we want to remember those things as well. So what is another question that I have for women that is common, and that is it normal for women to experience pain during sex, and what could be the underlying cause? Okay. Yes, it can happen. It happens for various reasons. It can be inadequate lubrication. It could be vaginal infections. It can be pelvic floor issues or disorders, hormonal imbalance. It can be psychological factors such as anxiety and trauma as well. And it is very important to go to a doctor, see what's going on with your issue, make you feel better about the situation, whether you might have to do something like shadow work if it has something to do with trauma and anxiety, or if it is something physical, you may have to go to your gynecologist and have her give you exercises to do to help alleviate the pain factors that you may have. So that's also very important. Again, we want to make sure that we go to our doctors and we want to talk to our doctors. If you're a penis owner, of course, you're going to your urologist. If you're a vulva owner, we're going to the obstetrician gynecologist. So we want to make sure that all of our faculties are working correctly, and if there is an issue with pain or some sort of delayed reaction for body parts or anatomy, we want to make sure that we go and get them checked out, because it's very important to make sure that we have good physical sexual health so we can have good mental sexual health. Okay, so those are some of the things that we want to do. again, it can be something like endometriosis, which is very prominent in especially the African American community. Fibroids is another one that may happen. Um, we have to make sure that we have or pelvic inflammatory disease. That's another common one that is very common when it comes to having sexual pain. So again, we want to make sure that we go to our gynecologist and we want to talk about all the things that are needed to help alleviate these symptoms. Okay. So next one for couples. What are some effective ways couples can overcome a sexual rut or boredom in the bedroom? Um, yeah, it sounds like I'm repeating myself, but again, good, open, and honest communication is number one. Number two, to get out of that same rut, again, go back and watch the previous episode where we talked about the intimacy jar and some of the things that you could do to spice that up. Uh, Something else that is really good, and it seems so juvenile, but or games, any kind of games. You can make a intimacy game out of cards. You can make it out of dice. Whatever your rules are for your game, you can do that. Of course, everybody knows about strip poker, so to say, but you can do other things with other games the same way, but make the rules between you and your partner according to how the game is going to be played. So open and honest communication. You can have the intimacy jar. You can have games. Something else that I always will say is explore different options by, you can watch, some people watch porn. I have people that said that that has helped them and gave them ideas on doing new and different creative things. Something else that people have told me is that they actually have went to a store, an intimacy store, and they got different ideas from what is going on at the intimacy store. So, if you are interested in that, or if you're not interested in going to an intimacy store, but you want to know more about products and toys and things that you can use for you and your partner, again, feel free to contact me. We can go through a mini session so you'll feel more comfortable and more knowledgeable on what you may be interested in and what you are thinking about doing as far as you in your bedroom and your sexual life. Okay. All right, let's go back to men. Is it normal for men to experience erectile dysfunction or ED? And what are some potential causes? First answer is yes. It is very common for men to experience ED, and you can experience ED at any age. So you must understand that it can be a lot of things that happen. It can be underlying stress. Stress is one of the main things that will affect a penis owner as far as erectile dysfunction. Stress is the number one thing that causes men not to get an erection. Something else that is important when we talk about that is cardiovascular disease. And people don't realize that high blood pressure and not maintaining your blood pressure affects ED very much. So we want to make sure that we have our blood pressure in the perfect range for ourselves. Again, we need to know what our appropriate blood pressure range is when we go to the doctor. So let the doctor tell you what your normal range is, and if you're having issues with it, then that's when you need to talk to your doctor and say, hey, I do have an ED problem. Maybe they can help you there as a primary, or they may consider sending you to a urologist so you can have more information on the different treatments for that as well. Okay. Something else are psychological factors such as anxiety and depression. Again, that is very big. We want to make sure that we're in good mental health for good sexual health as well. So, if you are feeling some sort of anxiety or depression or anything of the sort, we want to make sure that we talk to a mental health professional and get that squared away before we think about having sex or any sexual relationships that that mean anything to us until we get our mental and our physical health under control and together. Okay. Um, what is something else that can happen? Um, Diabetes, hormonal imbalances too for men. That can be fluctuations in your T number, which is testosterone. We want to make sure that all our numbers are in proper order and in good function. So, again, we want to make sure that we go to the doctor and rule all those things out before we have extended deep dive searches on what is going on with you and your ED. All right. All right. Women, let's see. Going back to women, what are some ways? What are some effective ways for women to achieve orgasm, and and why do they struggle to reach climax? Okay. This is one of the things that I speak on absolutely the most. And this is the question that I ask all people. Do you know how you climax, or do you know how you come? This is very important because there are different ways that you get stimulated, but you need to know how to get stimulated the way that you need to. So for women, and this is a shameless plug too, if you come to one of my classes, you find out how many actual orgasms a woman can actually have. But some of the main ones that I talk about is clitoral, G spot. Some people come from touching. It depends. So you need to know what your erogenous spots are. You need to know whether you are G spot stimulated, clitorally stimulated. You need to know how your how you feel, and you need to take control of what your body knows and how it feels, and you need to know how it reacts to different things. So you need to understand how you orgasm or how you climax, and that will always help make sure that you climax on a regular basis. Something else again that we want to make sure is that we don't have any psychological factors that are kicking in, which are stress, anxiety, depression. So the same things that we just talked about for the gentleman with ED is the same thing that we want to talk about with vaginal um, uh, vulva owners. We want to make sure that we are in a good mental space, a good physical space. So that can cut down some of the things when it comes to achieving orgasms. And also, of course, if we've had some sort of trauma or sexual anxiety or something like that, we want to go and talk to a professional about that, because we need to learn techniques and tools that we can use to help facilitate that and get our breakthrough through that as well. All right. All right. For couples, number 3, for couples, how can couples navigate differences in sexual preferences and desires without causing conflict? There's a couple of things that I'm going to say that are always important. We want to make sure that we have empathy. And what does that mean? That means that we're listening and we understand and we feel for what our partner is saying. How does that look? That looks like we're actively listening. We understand what our partner is trying to say to us. We understand that, hey, I'm not on the same level as my partner. What can I do to get on the same level as my partner? So, what does that look like? Again, we're talking honest and openly about our desires and our fantasies. We're talking about honest and open dialect about our relationships in general. We want to make sure that all the basic relationship factors are there, because sometimes if our basic relationship factors are not there, we're not going to feel like we want to be intimate with our partners. So we want to make sure that we work on that. We also want to make sure that we work on things like just basic togetherness through all of this. All right. Okay. I have a couple more minutes, so I am going to do one more of the couples, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. Um, the last one I'm going to talk about is, what role does emotional intimacy play in fostering a satisfying sexual relationship, and how can couples enhance this aspect of their connection? Whew, okay, we just talked about it a little bit, but we want to make sure that we have, again, open and honest communication. We want to express what our desires and our fantasies are. We want to make sure that we're actively listening to our partner. We want to make sure that we are actively talking to our partner, because sometimes we cannot expect somebody to change something if we do not let them know what is going on with you. We want to make sure that we talk at an appropriate time. We want to make sure that we feel like we're being heard. That's why we talk at an appropriate time. We also want to come with a solution and not just an issue. That also starts a talking point. And again, if you watch some of the previous ones, we talked about fighting fair and why fighting fair is important. And this is one of these times. We want to make sure that we come with a solution as well as a issue that you may have that gives you a talking start point. It may not be what you expect, but it may give you something that you can reflect on with your partner as well. Okay. So, what did we learn? We learned the key words: trust. We learned open and honest communication. We also learned open and honest active listening. That's one part that is very important as well. We want to make sure that we are actively listening to what is going on. What else do we want? We want to make sure that we're in good health, guys. We want to make sure that our health is our wealth, as we know. So we want to make sure that we're in good health. We want to make sure that we're taking care of our cardiovascular system. Again, this is the end of February. This is Heart Month, so we want to make sure that we're protecting our heart at all costs. And we want to make sure that that means physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay? So, do you have any questions, any comments? Again, I still have my book. Make sure that you come in on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. You can get it you can read it for free, actually, if you are a Prime member and you have unlimited Kindle. You are able to read it for free. So you don't even have to pay me anything. So go read it for free. It is for women, but the men's version, or penis owners, is coming out this year, along with some other things that I have coming out this year. So we want to talk about that as well. Again, the information for my retreats are coming up this week, so be on the lookout. I will be posting those for payment and deposits. Let's see. This is something that I got asked last week was, yes, I am open to new clients. I am accepting new clients. I am also getting ready to start several coaching programs for groups. A lot of people feel a little better about that. One, because the price is lower, and two, they like having a community to support them and to bounce questions off of them. So I will be starting my group coaching community soon, and that is something that is on the horizon for spring. So if there is any questions or comments, feel free to contact me. And if you have any subjects that you want me to talk about, let me know. Again, we will be switching our days for live, which I'm excited about. And I'm hopefully and prayerfully bringing you some new and exciting guests so you can have some discussion with them as well. And if you have someone that you think would be good for the show, let me know. If they're based out of Atlanta, let me know. Shoot me a text or a message, and we will see. Okay. So until next time, this has been Let's Learn Love Live. I am Dr. Cassandra Parks Evans. Follow me on all social media. And until then, I will see you next week. Bye.